Well, come on. Skyler.
What was the final? Oh, is he playing?
Hello world, and welcome back to, oh goodness, Gridiron, Gamble, the only podcast that puts its money where its mouth is. I'm your host, Rich Ryan, and I'm joined by three members of the collective: the disciple Brett Collson, Donnie, DP Peters, and the resident moose himself, Nuwwarah. No, I am not doing a terrible Donald Duck impersonation. I just sound awful because I've been sick as a dog the last couple of days. Apologies for that. If this is an awful listening experience, I will try to yammer as little as possible and let these three gentlemen take it from there. I honestly, I don't know how to start this pod, to be honest, because last time we saw football was when we saw DeMar Hamlin collapse with cardiac arrest. And thankfully, since then, since those horrifying sights, we've had a steady drumbeat of positive news coming out of Cincinnati. First, with him being reduced to 50% oxygen, and then this morning, learning that he has a feeling in all of his extremities. His neurological senses seem to be strong, and he was even communicating with doctors, including, I mean, you can't write the script. When coming to, his first question being, did we win the game? Which is just, I don't know. I don't know how you script it better than that. So obviously all the positive vibes that we got going out to DeMar and his family and his extended family, Brett's beloved Buffalo Bills. And in an extension of that, Brett, I've never experienced this. I've been to a lot of cities. I grew up in a small town. It's different. Buffalo, people say this a lot about a lot of towns, about a lot of cities. Buffalo is different. So give us the vibe right now in upstate, in Buffalo, these past couple of days.
It's obviously way more positive now than it was even 24 hours ago. It's been rough here, man. I mean, people love this town. They love this team. They love all these players. The players are part of the community, as we saw with all like the snowfall and neighbors helping these Bills get to Chicago and all these different places. Like, yeah, this one hit, but this one is different too, because I feel like this isn't just a Bills story. Like this was the entire league that felt the impact of this. Like we've never seen anything like this in the NFL before. It was I think it's been a rough few days for everyone who watched that. So we're just really happy that he's rebounding, and looks like they're going to be back on the field this week, and I don't know what's going to happen after that yet.
Yeah, from the presser today, it seemed like, I mean, Dayball and Josh Allen were actually ready to go, ready to get out there and play some football. Brett, I'm assuming...
Dayball.
Oh, Dayball's back? Hey, it's Super Bowl!
McDermott, who, I mean, of all times to forget the man's name, when he was an absolute top A class all the way leader throughout that entire process. The league said, stretch him, keep playing football. And Coach McDermott and Coach Taylor said, no, that's stupid. We're not going to do that. So shouts out to them. And then, yeah, we don't know. It sounds like that game is postponed. It's done, dusted. And then they'll figure something out with regards to ranking in the playoffs.
So in a way, the Bills did win. Entire world conspiracy against the Chiefs, like usual.
Wow, here we go. Mo, we're talking about...
Well, I mean,
the only guy in the universe to say that on a microphone is right here on Gridiron Gamble.
I mean, no,
we're about this and putting it on social media.
The WEEI of Kansas City has been saying this for 48 hours straight.
Let's be honest, they were about to lose, and now they're going to get a neutral game instead of a road game.
Mo, they were about to lose.
About to lose.
They
now
were
they're
in
going to
midfield.
Listen,
Mo
Kansas
has been on
City,
record
maybe
saying
you
that,
guys should beat the Bills at home.
Yeah, how about win a football game?
How about do that?
Yeah, how about win a football game? How about beat the Colts?
I've never heard of the Chiefs beating the Bills at home in the playoffs. It's never happened.
Mo has been on record all this week saying that they were about to go up 14-3. They were in midfield. He's just handing them 50 yards in a touchdown.
10 yards of play. Burrow was destroying the Bills.
Unbelievable stuff. Circa did not include the Bills game this week, so if we don't touch upon it, they just didn't include it. I don't know if they believe that there's some uncertainty that it won't happen. That doesn't seem like it's the case, or if they're just showing some deference to the situation, which would make sense. But let's get into the games that will be played. By the way, great job by the collective. I think last week may have been one of the greatest performances in the history of Gridiron Gamble. Yes, it was only a 3-2, but we identified the top 4 leverage spots of the week. I believe the 5th game that we picked was like 8th in leverage, and we went 3-2, and we were inches away, another fake Kenny Pickett comeback away from going 4-1. So we kicked ass. Couldn't be prouder of the collective. This week, in the group chat all day, we're saying, what's the strategy? Well, we're 3.5 points out. We got no shot of cashing. Let's just stat pad, give some winners, give some good content to the people. And then Donnie comes bustling in here, acting like we actually have a chance of cashing, sabotaging the whole thing.
No, we don't.
At 3.5 points out, I'm still going to throw the Hail Mary.
We can't.
I don't know about you guys.
Cash.
That's what
Impossible.
I do. I guess I'm throwing it
This
to
is a
myself.
Hail Mary when you're down 10 with 7 seconds left.
Yeah. You have to at least tell the people what you're giving a take.
I'm still throwing it.
At least tell the people when you're giving a take tonight, if the case is that it's full leverage, because we can at least give some good information to the people. And let's start with Panthers at Saints. This is good. I don't have an opinion on this game, so I can just kick it to you guys. Starting with Mo, who has the Saints in his top 5. I have to pull this up real quick as Carolina travels to New Orleans. Look ahead of 3. Open 4.5. Has clicked down to 3.5. Mo is shaking his head.
Definitely don't have the Saints in my top 5.
Oh, sorry. You have the Panthers plus the 3.5 in your top 5. Take it away.
Well, this is just a battle of 2 dead teams, right? One of them is getting 3.5. It was 4. I got 4. 3.5 is still too high to me. Look at the way the Panthers play, okay? And look at the way these 2 teams are set up. That's all I'm saying about this game. This is a feel play. This is a straight up feel play, okay?
Helmuth.
One team
Feel player
is
AF.
coming out looking to pound the rock, be physical, and the other team is all veterans. Season over. The Panthers are still playing for like jobs. The Saints are all veterans. They're fine.
So what were the Saints doing last week then? Did they just stumbled out to a 10-point victory over the best team in the conference?
They were still alive last week. They're dead now. They're going to have a team coming up, wants to be physical, punch them in the mouth. And they're all veterans, and the Panthers are young, playing for jobs. This is Panthers' money bet line.
Brett,
Love it.
Pile on, your favorite team in the NFL that delivers nothing but happy memories, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, I'm on the other side, though. I like the Panthers.
Oh, sorry.
Too. You
I keep
are all
doing
over
that.
the place right now.
No, I wrote it in my notes, and now I'm just...
Yeah, I like the Panthers too. I have these 2 teams rated pretty close. This is also just a case of stock high, stock low. Like the Saints beat a Gardner Minshew-led Eagles team last week. The Panthers blow a big lead, throw the division away to the Bucs, and then this moved off the key number of 3.5 or off the key number to 3 to 3.5, 4, which Mo got, and now back to 3.5. So yeah, I can't see the Saints being higher than 3 here ever. Not in this spot, not under these circumstances. When, like Mo said, they're literally playing for nothing in this spot. So you got a quarterback in Sam Darnold who's really trying to still prove himself and win a job for next year. So I like the Panthers quite a bit here.
I don't have much to add. The only reason why I clicked the Saints is because I don't want the Panthers on the card. So I was playing a little defense there. Donnie, what about you?
Why?
I got nothing to say.
It's gonna be a public dog. Everybody's gonna click the Panthers. And I think the Saints are a better team still. It just comes down to, are they going to put forth the effort? People are going to click Carolina, getting 3.5. 4.
It sure looks that way.
Sure.
I didn't even look at the splits this week. That's how.
I mean, it's above a field goal. It's
Brett's is checked out as the Saints will be this weekend.
This is Pat statting week, man.
It's above a field goal. People have been fading New Orleans all season. They were a top 4. They were one of the top 4 leverage teams last week. People were laying 9.5 against them with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. So I don't think people are going to line up to take New Orleans this week.
Yeah, you're right. The public is piling Carolina.
Chargers at Broncos. Might make that sound. DP, lead us off. You've got the Bolts in your top 5.
I feel like this is a very good leverage spot. Not that you guys agree, because you guys are clearly non-leveraged this week. I don't understand why the Chargers are getting 3. I mean, they still have stuff to play for. Are people scared of Justin Herbert? Probably. Yeah.
Back it up here, buddy.
What?
Hold up.
Yeah. I don't think you maybe looked at everything correctly here.
Well, you guys are just assuming that the Bengals are going to win.
They're
okay.
-7.
Okay, so
they're -7, but
they're 60.
This isn't.
So they're 60% to win, 65% to win.
Thank you, Rich. You're assuming you're locking in the Bengals.
Yeah,
as
they're
a win.
just locked in. Stone cold lock of the week. Put your kids'
Chargers
tuition
clearly have
on
something
Bengals
to play
money
for,
line, guys.
They're very
depending on
likely
who
to
they
win.
play in the first round.
They're very likely to win.
What's funny about this is that Mo has done nothing but tout this horrific Ravens quarterback the entire season, saying he's not that bad. He's just as good as LeVar. And now they're just 100% to lose against the Bengals.
I don't know if the Ravens are even going to try in that game. What if they just
They're not going to try to win the division?
They can't win the division.
What does this take?
They can't win the division unless that other game is played.
Yeah, but they want the 5 seed. Everybody wants the 5 seed. Everybody wants to play the Jags or the
Jags
Titans.
or Titans. What does this take?
If you value that more than rest, I don't know.
More
Anyways.
than rest.
Rest for who?
Well, I'm so confused.
Their whole
Sounds like
team
you
is
get
wrecked anyway. What? Who needs the bye more than the Ravens?
So you guys are going into this thinking that the Chargers are going to go through all their motions, warm up, and then just pull everybody if the Bengals win, which again is not 100% certain. I think the Chargers
Why
will.
wouldn't they?
I still think they'll get some burn, at least a quarter,
Maybe.
and that's enough to put some points up against this 3-2-1 Cancun ass Broncos team.
Yeah, they're playing the Broncos. I mean, come on. I'm not willing to just lock in the fact that the Bengals are winning. Clearly, you guys are. And then you're clearly telling me that there's articles I read that have said this as well, because I have not read these articles. According to Brett and Mo, there's articles out there that say the Bengals have already won the game. I don't believe that's the case.
It's over, guys. Like I said,
It's
kids'
over.
tuition, Bengals money line.
How much do you got on Ravens plus 7.5 then? A heap, I hope.
Well, it's funny because DP is the lowest on the Ravens. We'll get to them a little bit later.
Hatching his plays.
Yeah.
You got to go by leverage, though.
I also clicked Bolts because this is going to be an incredible leverage spot. Everybody is going to pick the Broncos because of what you guys are saying, and it's not a certainty. There is a reasonable scenario where
it's not. But what doesn't that mean? Nobody's going to pick the Broncos. Isn't everyone just going to stay away from
everybody
it?
is going to click the Broncos because they're thinking the same way you are. The Bengals are going to win with 100% certainty, and the Chargers are going to bench everybody with 100% certainty. Everybody's clicking Denver. I promise you. Pizzas.
Denver top 5 for a pizza.
Well, what? How many pizzas do I have to lay?
Everybody.
Denver more than Chargers.
Oh, well,
No, I want
that's
top
different.
5 for a pizza.
Yeah, you just said
All right, I'll
everyone's
take
going
top
to take
5.
Denver.
Fine,
Well,
top
let's
5.
wait. I want to make sure.
No, we're not
nobody's
waiting.
like,
Top 5. The button's been pushed.
Well, I don't want the Chargers to come out tomorrow and say, "Yeah, we're for sure benching everybody."
Well,
no
we're
matter
betting
what.
right now.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
in the
Don't
moment.
be
All
a
right.
coward. You got a sick man over here. I can't mentally process everything. You're trying to take advantage of me. It's sickening. So that's all this is for you guys. Is nobody's going to play for the Chargers.
It's like
I'm team everyone's playing for the Chargers. Their team, no one's playing for the Chargers. And
I'm
that's
somewhere
where
in the
game
middle.
ended up.
I'm somewhere in the middle.
There's no reason for the Chargers to play anyone if the Bengals win. Why would they?
Yeah, well, guess what? I have to make a pick before the Bengals play. Okay,
That's why
I don't
just
have that
stuck
result
the pick
penciled
at the
in.
bottom of the card. What?
I didn't.
How could anyone have any confidence in this one? We don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
here.
I know it's going to be
I also
leverage.
think the Broncos suck and are completely checked out. Okay.
3-2-1 Cancun.
It depends on the week. They played hard versus the Chiefs. They no-showed against the Rams. I feel like they're going to be more
Everyone
likely to
plays
play
hard against the Chiefs.
play hard
Everyone.
in a divisional game here.
Speaking of the Rams and a divisional game, they travel to Seattle to take on Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks. Mo, lead us off because you have the Rams in your top 5.
Yeah, this is another one where there's a quarterback, like Brett said about Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield is going hard here, playing for a job, playing for his future in the NFL, okay? The Rams are going to play hard. They're going to play hard for Baker. They're going to play hard for Bobby Wagner, who wants to face his old team, beat his old team here. They're going to play hard for McVay. I mean, he's been going hard this whole time. I think that this is going to be a close game, and the Seahawks still suck. Like you said last week, the Jets quit. Dude, the Seahawks played their first good game in 2 months. They're still bad. They had like 5 straight no covers. This team is pretty bad, okay? So I think the Rams can make this a game.
I wanted to put the Rams higher. I really, really did. This is so many points. Fake ass win from the Hawks last week. The Jets were flatter than a pancake. This is a crazy amount of points. We've said it all year.
The Hawks injuries, that is a lot of injuries, man.
Literally all the DNPs. If the Hawks are laying this amount of points, you just have to click the other side. Brett is just verklempt with all this love that we're heaping on the Rams.
Well, no, I capped this before I saw all of those Hawks injuries come through. So, I mean, I have Hawks. It's in the middle of my card. I don't feel great about it anymore because if they don't have Tyler Lockett, if they don't have Walker, they don't have all these guys, then yeah, this is too high. But what Mo said about Baker Mayfield, doesn't that apply to Geno Smith too? Plus, they're playing for a playoff spot this week. They're playing for everything this week.
Yeah, I didn't say
this is
Seahawks aren't trying. I'm saying both teams are trying hard in this game.
But this is
just
rule of week 18. You just fade everybody who needs something. Isn't this just telltale gambling? All these lines are so
usually that
imbalanced.
Prince.
So imbalanced towards the side that needs something. Like you're getting an extra half full, even 1.5 in some of these spots.
I think so on this guy. I think this line should be 5.
So Mo and I will certainly scoop it up. And we'll finish with Mo's Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Las Vegas, to take on the Raiders. Mo, the only person with an opinion on this game. You're high on your Chiefs.
This is another field play. This is a play based on everyone looked at that game last week and thinks Jarrett Stidham is good. And I've watched multiple Jarrett Stidham games where he was absolutely god-awful. And yes, I agree. He played very well. I watched a lot of that game. He played great. Do it again. This is Rich's rule of do it again. I got to see it again or I don't believe in it. Jarrett Stidham has been an atrocious professional quarterback, okay? And then he just comes in and shreds the Niners in the flattest spot. Could have been Vegas flu there. I mean, whatever. I don't believe that was the Niners playing hard or playing well. And I got to see Jarrett Stidham play another good game. And also, a lot of other things lining up for the Chiefs here. I think it's very helpful for them to play inside against this team that cannot defend any sort of passing game. They don't have Chandler Jones, which they actually did cause the Chiefs some problems in that first game by winning off the edge without blitzing with Crosby and Jones. And then my last thing here is, doesn't Josh Jacobs actually matter? He breaks 1 million tackles, rips off long runs. He went for 150 on the Chiefs last week. I don't know if the Raiders are trying. This might be a packet-in game for the Raiders. Some of these guys on the injury report, people in the Lions Discord were speculating about Devontae maybe not playing a full game. And I mean, Josh Jacobs, he has not, I think he hasn't practiced. I don't know what's going to happen with the Raiders. If they come out there with Amir Abdullah and Jarrett Stidham, I mean, why can't the Chiefs just win this game by 30?
Why wouldn't Devontae play a full game?
He's probably got incentives. I'd be shocked if he did play. My whole thing
needs
is
incentives when you're already getting $800 million a year.
This is true. My whole thing is the Chiefs haven't scored 40 points in 10 weeks. they haven't been like the explosive Chiefs in quite some time. So all you need is another sleepy effort, a couple good throws from something Stidham, and the Raiders are right there. Again, I had no real.
Listen, if Stidham repeats what he did last week, the Raiders are going to cover easily. This is for sure. But, I mean, I don't believe in it.
Something Stidham. Well, Brett and Mo love the Panthers. DP loves the Chargers. Brett and Mo are on the other side, although Brett was the highest with the Broncos bubbling his card. Mo has the Rams in his top 5. He's also somewhat high on the Chiefs. That's the split game segment. Let's get to the Lone Wolves, which is going to start some contention here on the pod. This is where Donnie just went full rogue, and he broke it. He absolutely broke it. Guys, he did it.
Told you I'm throwing a Hail Mary. Don't care.
Something Strevler.
Do whatever you guys want.
Road favorite in pro football.
Who's playing quarterback for the Dolphins?
Skylar Thompson is so
no one
much
that
better
is good.
than
No
Chris
one
Strevler.
that is good. What are you talking about, Skylar Thompson? Do you see the throws this guy makes? He misses wide open receivers by 8 yards.
Better coach.
He's not
bad.
even close
He's
to
really
people.
bad.
Better coach, better quarterback, something to play for. This might be the only game that I remember where the team that has something to play for has been getting zero love from the market all week. And that was even when Teddy might play, Mike White looked healthy. Nobody was supporting the Dolphins. And it blew my mind after the Jets completely no-showed in a must-win game last week to get into the playoffs. Mike White is clearly still suffering from his rib injuries. He couldn't complete checkdowns, 5 yards per attempt, 2 awful interceptions. Doesn't matter who plays quarterback for the Jets. They are dead men walking. Assistants are going to get the hook. Woody Johnson's going to be at the game because he lives in Florida. He's going to do a presser afterwards. There's going to be a quiet Black Monday for the Jets when it comes to some assistants as they lose 6 straight games to end the season. The Dolphins were always the side. Mo's mad because I have this opinion. And
Rich has his mortgage on the Dolphins.
they're going to trounce the Jets. The greatest football team.
Miami and the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
Brett's doing a lot of nodding over there.
Yeah, I like this for Miami even before the Mike White news surfaced on Thursday. And of course, that came after Circa released its lines for this week. So this is free line value. This is a free play because I think this should be Dolphins -3 now. Went through the 0. Easily my top play. Miami playing for its life.
And
McDaniel,
getting no love from anybody.
They're going to now. But yeah.
Well, now, yeah.
They weren't before. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't get it. Like, I understand that they didn't look good last week. McDaniel and Teddy need to figure this out. If Teddy does play this week, like, what happened to Teddy Bridgewater, the game manager, the guy who's conservative, didn't do stupid things, throwing pick sixes last week?
God awful this year. Yeah,
What was that
happened to this
decision?
guy?
My goodness.
Giving that game away last week, yeah, really bad, and the Dolphins never recovered. So, I mean, look, if Teddy does go this week, and it looks like it will be a game time decision, tone it down, get the ball into the hands of these playmakers, and just remember who the quarterback is on the other side.
If Teddy goes this week, this line should be 7.
Oh, that's strong.
I'm not even kidding. It's Flacco and
Tyler
Strevler.
Thompson is terrible.
It's Flacco and Strevler. That's the main thing. I don't know how the Jets get to 14 points, guys.
I don't know how
Can
anyone
Teddy
gets
Bridgewater
to 20.
grip a football? Can he actually hold a football?
Yeah. So someone tell me why the total didn't move. Because no one's told me yet.
If the Dolphins can just complete 5-yard slants, they're going to score 30.
You're going to get plus 300 on the Dolphins scoring 30.
Well, good. I'll have to find somewhere to place that wager.
What
You
happened
see
when
this
these two teams
speed at
played
linebacker?
earlier?
You could kill the Jets with crossers. I mean, a blocking tight end scored a 50-yard touchdown on a crosser against the Jets.
That happened.
You can kill us with crossers. The Seahawks, shouts to their scouting. There were 3 targets in that game to wide receivers. 3. Because you know what they did? They just peppered running backs and tight ends. Well, the Dolphins are going to be even smarter than that. Instead of not targeting their receivers, they're just going to shift their receivers inside and destroy our linebackers and safeties. Bloodbath. Even for something Thompson.
Oh, this was the Breece Hall game when they played earlier this year. That was a long time ago.
And that was the first play of the game. We CTE'd Teddy. And Skyler came in.
Yep.
What happened in that game?
Well, come on. Skyler.
What was the final? Oh, is he playing?
It was Skyler on the road with no first-team snaps.
Interesting.
No prep.
Interesting.
It's completely different. And a Jets team that was actually good. And actually playing
Completely
first
different. The same quarterback, the same team. It was completely different.
It was.
Explain it.
No, it was Zach.
Zach's
worth more than Streveler.
There was a healthy
Sure.
Quincy Williams.
Maybe.
That was a completely different team. Now the Jets, these are the zombie Jets.
We're talking about 4 months ago, by the way. That just it doesn't matter.
They're going to lose by infinity.
Dolphins 31 to 40 points plus 650. Rich at
Get it in there. Oh,
Plus
go nuts.
50.
Get it in there.
Wow.
30 to 40. You said 30 to 40?
31 to 40.
Yeah, I'm getting it in there. I'm
That's
sending
a
a text to
terrible
Grape
number.
Drink tonight.
That's just not going to happen.
It's happening. Also in
Well, one
Donnie's,
of us is going to be rich then.
I'm always going to be rich. Also in Donnie's top 5. Fading his boy, Tom Brady. This one I don't understand. How can you decipher leverage in this game? Aren't people going to click the Falcons thinking that the Bucks bench everybody?
I think so.
No, I think
you're wrong about leverage here.
Okay, then if I'm wrong about leverage, I'm wrong about leverage. But I don't know. Ticket count to me tells me the complete opposite thing.
Well, you're the WEI Patriots guy. Didn't Tom Brady always play at least a half in those games?
What do you have to drag him off the field at
That's what I
all
mean.
times?
That's what I mean.
Listen to me real quick.
So what if the Bucks get up 30?
This is Brett's rule of
Bucks are
what
never
price
getting
did
up
those
30.
people get those tickets at? Because I think this was +7 for a little bit.
It was.
Yeah.
Also,
All right, fine.
Why wouldn't Brady play the whole game? This team needs reps. They have looked like garbage.
Yeah, he's
all
also
season.
48 years old.
They also have
in the
they
NFL.
Also have idiots at head coach that probably believe in things like momentum. There was a quote today from Leftwich where he was talking with the media and he was saying like, all these metrics, we're 12th in offense. And he was just talking about raw yardage.
I mean, I think Brady believes in momentum. You don't even need to go to the coaching staff.
I mean, he believes in that fake doctor that isn't a doctor that does witchcraft.
Concussion water and all that crazy shit.
So, yeah, I think Brady's going to play longer than people suspect. And the Bucks are going to be able to score in this horrendous Falcons team. And what is Desmond Ridder going to do against this defense?
I think it's pretty well known that Brady does not sit out games or weeks. So I don't see why people are going to assume that the Bucks are just going to sit down and do nothing.
I think this might be a touchdown off market. I think the market's completely wrong about this game. I think the Bucks are trying to win this game. They need to put
I
this.
agree
they
with
need to
Brett,
get
and
right.
that's why I think there's going to be leverage on the Falcons, because I think that people just generally know that, and I think it starts with Brady. That's where I think it starts here. You're not going to take this guy off the field. We've seen it for 22 years or whatever. He doesn't go off the field. He doesn't do that.
If that was the case, then people would be hammering.
That's what I don't.
And the market would adjust.
That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. So I'm probably wrong.
All right, I have a pair of lone wolves that I have absolutely no conviction. I'm laying the 14 with San Francisco, and I am laying the 7. With the Cowboys. Let's start with the second one. The first one I have absolutely nothing on. Niners just got embarrassed by something Stidham playing for something. I could see them in Niners faction doing the Niners thing that they should have done last week and winning by infinity. This next one, Mo, I need the scouting report. What's a Howell? And how is he going to fare?
Something Howell was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is this the Legend of Howell game?
Senior season, junior season, I don't know whichever was his last season ended up being pretty poor. But this was after their like whole team left. Like they lost multiple pro receivers, pro running backs. So it was kind of normal for him not to look as good. But man, yeah, he was definitely at least going to be a first rounder. People thought, but he was in the mix for 1-1. And then he fell all the way to the 5th. I think he was probably stellar value there. I mean, it's worth throwing a dart at that point for sure. He's got the tools. I mean, he's got a big arm. He's a decent athlete. I think nobody knows what to expect here, and I don't know what to expect, but I do have to say Dak Prescott has been playing some absolutely horrifying football, so I don't know how I can lay 7 with this team against anybody right now. On the road, especially outside against a decent defense.
Well, what you're saying about Howell actually worries me even further about the Commanders, because if he has a big arm and he goes for it, there's not a ball-hawking secondary like Dallas. So if he overestimates and thinks that he has an NFL arm when he's just a kid, that could spell trouble for Washington.
Well, I wanted to believe that Washington was going to go hard here, and that's why I actually bet them early in the week at a much worse number than this. And then now I'm seeing this injury report, and now I'm wondering if they're just calling it a season. This could be the most Cancun game of the week. This could be Dallas by 40.
How do you go into the locker room when your coach just has no idea that you have a chance?
I'm just hugely in the minority here.
I think he was kidding. I
don't think it matters. Like, what does it matter to Ron Rivera? He's just trying to get his team ready to win the game. That's his job. He can't worry about other teams' scenarios, what they're going to do to him.
That's totally fair.
Think that matters.
Totally
wouldn't you kitchen sink it a little bit more though if you know like you have to win?
Well, they're trying to win anyway. Of course they're trying to win. Yeah,
I don't doubt that, but maybe there's like the tiniest of edges that you could find. I don't know. I think he was also kidding with the guy as well. The way he responded to that question, I thought he was being a dick, which Ron Rivera is wont to be in some of these press conferences. He's not the most warm of fellas there in Washington. And then Cardinals-Niners. Does anybody have a strong opinion as I scan across? No. Nobody can whiff a strong opinion for Arizona. So we go to Brett's lone wolf. He can't quit him. He's going to martingale him until they cover a damn football game. And that's the Minnesota Vikings.
I have nothing on this game. I didn't even look at this game. The Vikings ripped my heart out last week after I faded them 17 weeks in a row. I'm just done. So yeah, I clicked them because they're actually playing for something here, and the Bears don't have Justin Fields, who's the only reason you would ever bet the Bears, in my opinion. So
let's be honest, you clicked them for one reason and one reason alone. They're playing against the Peterman.
Okay, yes.
Brett's favorite quarterback. Yeah, nobody has an opinion on this game. I have no idea. I literally have no idea. None whatsoever. The Vikings' weak point is their pass defense. Can the Peterman complete a forward pass? I don't know. Maybe. So, DP's going rogue, full leverage on the Jets. He also has the Falcons. Brett has a coin flip on the Vikings. And I'm laying the absolute wood with the Niners and the Cowboys. All right, strap in. It's time for the very last card of the year.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
4-1 last week, but his top pick was sniped by the collective. So Mo leads us off with a split game.
I clicked on the Panthers. I don't know who has vetoes left against me, but whatever. Donnie, are you use his or no?
I think Donnie used his free veto against you already. He has a free veto against me. And then, of course, he has his veto. Donnie.
Veto away, Donald.
What? Let's just do the whole card, and then I'll decide if I'm going
to do the whole card. I am up next, and my top pick is a collective pick. It's one of those that I referred to earlier in the show. Brett was talking last week. We had 538, predicting last week that the Jacksonville Jaguars had a 75% chance of making the playoffs. Everybody, including myself on that very show, just assuming that Jacksonville is going to have a home playoff game. So you absolutely have to pinch your nose, which I can do now because I can't have smell. I don't have the sense of smell anyway, and click the Tennessee Titans. Yes, I know we have Charlie Villanueva at quarterback. Shouts to Josh Dobbs. But we're getting Derrick Henry back. We're getting some defensive pieces back, Jeffrey Simmons. And let's face it, this is Vrabel in a must-win spot. Ultra kitchen sink game for the division. They might go down, but Mo, the Tennessee Titans are going to go down throwing absolute haymakers in this game.
Yeah, my brain tells me that this is going to be a Jacksonville walkover. Everything I've seen for multiple weeks of football tells me that this is going to be a Jacksonville walkover. And Jacksonville should be -8 here because they're that much better than the Titans and they're at home. They are. It only makes sense for Jacksonville to be -8. But we just know what's going to happen here. We know the Titans are going to play 150% effort. They're going to have trick plays. They're going to do everything in the locker room. Nobody believes in us. And it's Vrabel. I believe in Vrabel to at least get his players to play hard in these spots where nobody believes in them. I believe that's a real thing. Because we've seen it how many times? We always see it. This team are the kings of covering as nobody believes in them underdogs. Okay. So I just know, and they took the bye. Also, one thing, dude, I think this Trevor Lawrence injury might be real. I mean, he missed practice, limited. I think he might be less than 100% because of his foot. So, yeah, I just feel like this is going to be a close game. And it doesn't make sense, but I feel like it's going to be a close game.
Brett, Mo referenced it briefly there. A massive rest injury. I don't understand why this isn't a bigger deal. And maybe it is, and I've just not heard of it because I've been zonked for the last couple of days. But the fact that the NFL made this game on Saturday, giving a short week to Jacksonville when the Titans are coming off the mini bye, is insane.
Yeah, this one just feels funny, man. And we talked all season about the Jags, and as soon as we start to believe, they take a giant dump on the field, and here we are. Like, this is the spot.
The biggest dump there could be.
Like, I want to believe that this group has finally grown up. Like, they're at the adult table now, but I don't know. We're gonna have to see it. This is the week where they're gonna have to prove it, and they're playing for it all. This is essentially a playoff game against a team and a coach that has been in the playoffs 4 times in the last 5 years. They just get there. They find a way, even though they never look great. They just get it done behind a great coaching staff. They might not win this game with Josh Dobbs, but I do see. I'm with Mo. I see this being close. I think this is going to be a really difficult game to watch. I think it's going to be ugly because that's what the Titans want, and I think they'll be right in it.
Yeah, don't cancel your Saturday plans. If you didn't know there was Saturday football, don't cancel what you've already got going to watch this game. DP, you have this in your top 5 as well, so you must think, even though they're leg 6, that the Jags will be the popular side.
I think the Jags will be popular. I think people are, writing the Titans off, which I think is incredibly silly to do with a Mike Vrabel team, as Mo pointed out. And then I think some people are making out the fact that the Titans now have to play on the shorter week as a really big deal. And if anyone's going to get his team ready for a shorter week and use that as a momentum talk thing in the locker room, it's freaking Vrabel, man. Like, come on. Like, you have to back this guy. We see it all the time with them. And I'm just not sure the Jaguars are going to be up to the situation, the platform. Like, I mean, I don't know. Brett said they're a bunch of young guys. Like, I don't know. Are they going to kind of crumble under the spotlight type of thing? Like, this is a win and you're in, right? So, I don't know. 6 seems like a lot in this spot, even though, the Titans are on like their 9th quarterback and they got a bunch of injuries and whatever. But I don't know. They're going to find a way, at least to keep it close.
We move to Brett, who has a majority pick.
The greatest football team.
Miami and the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
Donald,
Took the free space. What a coward.
Of course.
I know.
Seriously,
I
what
can't
a
believe
coward. What a coward.
I can't believe it.
I mean, just talk about
It's-
padding the stats.
Pick winners.
Which leaves Donnie. I mean, this is the funkiest card. Donnie's top pick, sniped by Brett, because, yeah, Donnie did that. He had the Jets as his top pick. But now, somehow even stinkier than the Jets, he has this team as his number 2.
How is that stinkier than the Jets? The Jets are for sure the stinkiest. Lane 1? Come on.
I mean,
I have
who's
the
your pick?
Chargers.
You
Which
realize
according
this
to-
is going to be
acco-
Chase Daniel, but
According to these guys, if it's going to be Chase Daniel, I'm going to the Lions.com right now, and I need to see an article that says it's Chase Daniel, and I also want to see the article right below it that says that the Bengals have already won the game. Because clearly those two things have already happened.
Byline Mo Nuwwarah. Where can we get this parlay? Bengals money line and Chase Daniel over half passing attempts.
listen, if they had Sam Darnold on the bench, I'd be feeling fine about clicking on the Chargers, okay? Chase Daniel is a country mile below the threshold at this point.
All right, let's get to a pick everybody can agree on.
The collective chooses the Detroit Lions.
I said this in Discord. If the Seahawks win during the day games on Sunday,
And then this line moves to 7.
unload everything you got. Detroit money bet line will be the wager of the year because they don't care. These kneecap biting idiots do not care if this game actually matters. They're going, Jamal Williams is going to play so much Pokemon. Yeah, I pronounced it correctly, my guy. He is going to go Super Saiyan all over the Green Bay Packers. I know I crossed the streams. I know I crossed the streams. That's a DBZ reference. Don't come after me, nerds and losers. Okay? The Lions are going to try so hard in this game. This line is stupid. But Mo was the only one who could put this in the top 5 with me. The only one.
Top 5? I put it top 1.
Yeah, number 2 for me. Take it away, Mo.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said. This is Dan Campbell. The result of the other game is irrelevant. So that's why I'm actually pissed at myself because I already bought Lions plus 4.5. And I realized like a day later, I was like, wait, I should have just waited for the Seahawks to win.
Yep.
Then the line's going to move at least 2 points, and I could have got a better price. But whatever. I'm just going to double down. It doesn't matter. But yeah, someone explained to me how the Packers are multiple points better than the Lions. There's no way they are. These teams are so evenly matched. These teams have not much between them. I mean, really, they don't.
The Packers dusted off a fraud Vikings team. By the way, in a game where
2
they had
free touchdowns.
kick return touchdown, like all the good fortune went their way. Didn't really do much on offense, which is actually a red herring when you're playing against the Minnesota Vikings. And then we're a conscious Tua Tagovailoa half away from losing down here in Miami, a very suspect Packers team still. And Brett, this is your good Lions team.
Sorry, yeah, I was on mute. They are, yeah, they're, I mean, I don't know if they're good, but they're right there with Green Bay. I mean, I don't know how many
Wait. Now you don't know if they're good. Last week you were saying they're fringe top 10. Pick a lane, buddy.
That doesn't mean they're good.
Just pick a lane.
All I'm saying is it's
Fringe. How could they
probably,
not be?
yeah. I mean, there's probably what? There's
I'm just
7
saying,
good
don't
teams.
back off now, man. Let's
I'm not
go.
backing off. They're fine. Like, they're fringe top 10. That doesn't mean they're good, but they're right there with the Packers. They're basically the same. I think I have the Packers rated like 1 spot higher than the Lions. They're the same, like Mo said. So yeah, this should never be 4.5. This should be probably just 3.
Yeah. Maybe a shade higher.
Teams absolutely are going to pound the rock too. There's going to be so much running in this game because neither team can stop the run. Clock is going to be churning in this one.
So the cards so far, before anything is blasted, the collective has the Lions I've got the Titans. Brett's got the Dolphins. DP's got the Chargers. And Mo has the Panthers. Before you blast off, DP, I'm just going to list off the consensus picks that did not make the card. Consensus picks, by the way, up to 58% on the season. They include Browns plus 2.5, which I absolutely love.
Mm-hmm.
Texans plus 2.5. Ravens plus 7.5, even though I thought Bengals were the lock of the year. And Giants plus 14. Or any of those games you want to talk about, gentlemen.
Does anyone actually believe the Colts should be minus 2.5?
Something Ellinger.
There's just no way that can be. The Colts, I can't lay points with the Colts. You guys say, okay, don't lay points with bad teams. What about laying points with atrocious teams?
With the 30th best team in the league?
Yeah.
I think I might have had the Colts 31 this week.
Oh, wow. Wow. Texans team professional pride. What does Lovie Smith
plus 3?
What does Lovie Smith care about the first pick? He's not going to be there.
What does anyone care about the first pick? It's not like if the Bears got the first pick, what are they? They're not going to take a quarterback anyway.
Exactly.
Right. Well, they'll trade out.
They might, but what if they don't? And then there's heaps of quarterbacks anyway. So it's just like, whatever. The Texans can afford to win this game. It's not that big of a deal if they do.
Texans trying. Browns, Steelers. I mean, the Steelers, Jesse Pinkman, they can't keep getting away with this. Kenny Pickett can't keep putting together game-winning drives. It's just not possible.
Aren't the Browns better than the Steelers?
Yes!
DVOA
and they're trying
thinks
too.
They're a lot better than the Steelers.
And they're trying too. They tried last week.
They have to.
They try. Yeah, they
Deshaun's
have to
had like 3 reps this year. Like he's been playing in miserable weather. Like this guy needs actual snaps because they're going to be in contention for maybe a Super Bowl next year if they figure out what Deshaun is. Like, yeah, they need to finish the season on a strong note. Start looking ahead to what might be a really good season next year. So yeah, I think this line's stupid. I think this should just be a pick.
And then, to me, Ravens-Bengals is just another classic. Everyone, you guys included, are penciling in the Bengals as winners. So you just have to click the points here.
Winning and covering 7.5 is a lot different. This is a good test for this Bengals offense for sure, because the Ravens have been playing solid defense. And I want to see if Joe Burrow can destroy these guys the way he's destroyed some of these bad defenses. I'm also curious if Lamar goes. I know he hasn't been practicing, but I feel like there's a chance he goes. So that's why you just can't be that confident in the Bengals.
I wonder when they'd have to announce that. It would probably leak tomorrow. Like, they would tell the team if Lamar was starting, and then that would leak out. So if that were the case, then I'm assuming this line would move, and then everybody would click the Ravens in the contest.
I don't think there's any chance he plays.
I don't think so either. I would say less than 5%.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's probably less than 1%. I mean, they're talking about him possibly not being ready for the playoffs.
I'll tell you what, he's gonna look good in green and white next year.
Right.
For about 6 games, he'll look good.
I mean, if we get 6 games from whoever the hell our quarterback is, it might as well be a former MVP, for God's sake. Donnie, what are we doing?
I think I like Texans in place of Dolphins.
Am I hitting the button or what?
Yeah, hit the button.
Can I re-veto that out?
Oh, if you could re-veto, but you could veto something else.
You can
No,
veto.
you can veto the Chargers.
I don't have any.
Donnie's stupid veto.
Well, you could veto out the Chargers. How about that?
Yeah, let's put the Browns in there for the Chargers.
These vetoes carry over to next year.
Never.
Does the free
Imagine me
veto
doing
carry
that
over?
much Imagine me doing that much accounting after
You just
all.
build up like 13 vetoes for the 3
I'm
seasons
just
down
saying
the
free
road.
vetoes, there's no punishment. There's no punishment if you blow it now.
Crossfire. Well, that's why maybe the strategy is to hold them. So now the card looks like this. The collective continues to have the Lions. I have the Titans. Brett vetoed out the Chargers in favor of the Browns. Donnie vetoed out the Dolphins in favor of the Texans. And Mo has the Panthers. So a card of Sam Darnold. Who is starting a quarterback for the Texans? They're punting, right?
Davis Mills.
They're playing David? Okay.
I think this is an all-sounder card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Mills. And the Browns don't have a sound.
Oh.
The Browns are a dog. They're rah-rah-rah AF. Come
Yeah,
on,
that's
man.
right. They do have the dog. Dog pound? I've got the Lion. Oh, no, I've got the Titans. They don't have a sound either. That's the sound of a sword. And
2022 Deshaun Watson is our best quarterback on the card.
yeah. Well, we got Charlie Villanueva. And no, Jared Goff. Jared Goff cashed. He cashed your touchdown.
Mike Vrabel is all that matters, okay?
We have kneecaps. We just have a team of kneecaps. That's the card. The final one of the season. If you've been watching, if you're a viewer on YouTube, catch us on the podcast channel. We'll be talking throughout the playoffs, giving you our best clicks throughout those games. We'll see you next season here on the channel. Hopefully, be sure to subscribe, ring that bell to the Lions US YouTube page. Very excited for all their continuing content. Today was the start of the PGA season, so I was in there reading PGA tout stuff on thelines.com. Always has some great golf content. That is my first read every week when it comes to any kind of golf betting content.
Did you win your pool last year?
I did not. Well, that pool was like 800 people.
Are you playing this year?
I did not. I got into a smaller pool because that pool was there was some dodgy stuff going on, and it was like a friend of a friend of a friend who ran it. Yeah, so we exited that pool, and we're in two smaller, friendlier pools this year. Follow these guys on Twitter at Donnie_Peters, at Mo Nuwwarah, NUWWARAH, and at Brett Collson. I'm at Rich C. Ryan. Hopefully next time you hear from me, I will sound more normal. Until then, peace.